When I was a child, adults warned me about the Boogeyman, a horrific monster with an insatiable appetite for naughty children. Stephen King drew from this mythology to write his 1973 short story The Boogeyman, which was eventually collected in his 1978 classic Night Shift. King's short story about a working-class father whose children mysteriously die is his latest to be adapted into a movie, one that I was eager to watch because of its concise and terrifying source material. I'm therefore sad to report that The Boogeyman is tragically bad. It begins on a good note until its fatal flaws take it down. Its brutal and shocking opening scene leads you to expect a much better movie than you end up with. While this movie is initially promising, it flames out because it deviates from the most terrifying aspects of King's short story. Savage's adaptation feels blunt in comparison to the chilling ambiguity of its source material. In King's story, Lester Billings could be telling Dr. Harper the truth about the Boogeyman. Billings could also have murdered his children because he's unhappy with his marriage to his wife, who he regularly abuses both physically and verbally. Billings' children may have died from SIDS, as the coroner believes. Perhaps Billings is experiencing a psychotic episode caused by grief and drug abuse. King's Boogeyman is suspenseful because Dr. Harper doesn't know the truth about Billings and his children. In Savage's adaptation, the Boogeyman is quite literally a monster who eats people, killing the mystery of the source material. Savage knows that what you don't see is scarier than what you do see. That's why Savage prefers to hide the Boogeyman in the darkness in his movie. So then why show the Boogeyman at all? King's Boogeyman is more terrifying because its characters are more powerless. It commentates on systemic issues that cannot be solved by one family or even one community. The monster is a metaphor for how poverty and drug addiction lead to death, trauma, and grief in working-class communities without the power to solve their own problems. Dr. Harper cannot help Lester Billings because Dr. Harper himself is taken by the Boogeyman. In Savage's adaptation, the monster is a metaphor for the unprocessed trauma and grief the Harper family experiences after their mom dies in a car accident. The Harper family defeats the Boogeyman by working together and attending therapy. Which is more terrifying, a monster that can be defeated by therapy, or a monster that kills you when you go to therapy? Savage's Boogeyman is a disappointing movie. The source material is more terrifying and nuanced than Savage's dull adaptation. The source material is more terrifying and nuanced than Savage's dull adaptation. Without the interesting ambiguity of King's short story, Savage's disposable adaptation does not lend itself to rewatches. I give this movie 1 star out of 5.